by May South Intermediate. And I think we have the sign-in sheet and the thank you card on here. If you guys will pass it around, make sure you sign both, please. And we'll let you have the floor for a moment if you'd like. Everybody jump what?
No, we just wanted to let you guys know how much we appreciate you. We know how tough your jobs are. I mean, I've never driven a bus before. I don't know if you want me to drive a bus. But we see who you carry every day, bringing them safe to us. So we appreciate that. This is just a little bit of a way to say thank you. We do have a special guest here today. She has been very eager also to make sure we show appreciation for you guys. She's been asking Mr. Klein, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're like, we are bringing breakfast, so we brought her along.
Anybody but Michelle.
It's the best.
Guys, keep us in mind, remember, we provided the best breakfast for you.
Yeah.
And we appreciate our bus drivers that brave 37th Street every day. Going in, so thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for all your support. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. All right. That was sweet. Than anybody's love Michelle. Just karma bit me there. Did you see that?
This is May South Elementary School. Only parents drop their students off in the front of the building. School buses have their own lane. The first bus to arrive will always pull at the right support. Buses enter the bus lane through the roundabout and stack parallel to each other. The second will pull to the left of that bus, just forward enough to create a clear view of the door for the students that will load and unload. Always leave enough room between buses for your students to safely see and walk to your door and for your back emergency door to fully open. After your students are loaded, use your left turn signal to indicate to other buses and to the administrator that you are ready to go. The buses will be cleared by an administrator. The first bus to leave the school will always be the far left bus, then the right bus will leave, then the left, and so on. Buses will head out to route through the roundabout. Please follow the proper roundabout rules. Yield to traffic coming from the left, but do not stop if the way is clear. Make sure to drive safely as you proceed on your routes.
So even if it's not your school, I'd like you to pay attention to the verbiage on the videos because these were put together by students in our district. They put these slides together. They did a phenomenal job. They came in with the drone, thank you. They came in with drones and did all the overhead. They did the voiceovers. They took lots of video and cut it. I mean, they did an awesome job, so we're super excited. But you're going to hear each one says something just a little bit different, but it pertains to all of you. It just may be in a different school. So even if you're a May South elementary driver, make sure you pay attention to Prairie Woodman because they may say something that makes sense that didn't get talked about at May South.
This is May South Intermediate School. Buses have their own lane in front of the school. Small buses park first, then the big buses park. The first big bus parks to the right, then the next bus parks to the left, and so on from there. Be sure to pull forward enough to create a safe passage for your students to see and walk from the sidewalk to the door of your bus. When you are fully loaded or unloaded at this school, close your doors and put your left turn signal on. This will indicate to other drivers and administrators that you are ready to go. Don't move if there are students on the sidewalk. The first bus to leave will always be the bus on the left, followed by the bus on the right, and so on until everyone departs. Be sure to drive safely as you proceed on your routes.
We're going to make these permanent part of our training as well for new staff, so it'll be nice to have.
Here we are at May South Middle School. Follow the roundabout to the back side of the school to find the bus lane. As always, special needs and minibuses are the first to park and load or unload students. Special needs buses need immediate access to sidewalks for their students to load or unload wheelchairs. As the big buses come around to the back, they will first park to the right, then to the left, then to the right. Watch for hazard lights. If the bus in front of you activates his hazards, it means he is waiting to park and unload his students until the way is clear to park. Be patient. As soon as he parks, you can park. Always leave a small lane between buses for students to safely walk to or from the sidewalk and the bus. A closed door and a left blinker means your bus is fully loaded and ready to move on. An administrator will dismiss the buses by radio from the school when they determine that all students are safely loaded and clear of the bus lane. The big bus to the far left will always be the first to leave, then the bus to the right, then the left, then the right. The buses move in a single file line to the next school.
Do you guys have any idea we were recording you on this day?
I don't even know what that day is.
I don't either.
Also, I know it's like somewhere in like last year.
No, this was about a month ago. It was this year.
Big and small buses are in the same lane. Staggering buses to create a safe lane for students works even if the two sizes are in the same lane. Just like the other schools, first bus parks to the right, then the next bus parks to the left, and so on. Stagger with smaller buses even if it leaves a big gap. Please do not park in the crosswalk. Watch for the hazard lights on the
Yes, like
bus.
that. That's why I say this is older.
The bus with the hazards on is waiting for the first buses to leave before pulling into position to unload. Just like all the other schools, a closed door and a left turn signal means you are ready to go. Mays Intermediate is for 5th and 6th graders. Most of them will not be watching you. Be patient and cautious. Move slowly and never while students are on the sidewalk beside you.
We don't have one for May South because when we recorded these, May South was so goofy. And it hasn't gotten a
Mays
whole
Middle
lot
School's
better.
bus lane is behind the school and unique to our buses in many ways. We must watch for students walking to and from the homes behind the school, tennis courts, track, and fields. For the morning route, the first to arrive at the school is the first to park, right to left. Afternoons for all schools follow a specific lineup every day so the students will have an easier time finding their bus.
So, I don't know what happened. The other thing to do there is we want the buses to park closer together. I don't know if you guys were here last week, but we had somebody try and drive between them, took out a stop sign. You do? Okay.
Or not video.
You gotta
The
slide
buses
out.
take up most of the lane, so be sure if you are in front of the bus, to go far enough forward to allow the following buses room to park. The first bus parks to the right. It's a tight turn into the bus lane. Staggered parking allows safe passage for students to load or unload onto the sidewalk. A closed door and left turn signal shows the administration and other buses that you are ready to go. The left bus is the first to depart, then the right bus follows. Stay in order and move to the next school. Use caution when pulling out of the high school. Young drivers are impatient. Close proximity of schools means students will be all around. Move slowly and be patient. Be sure to drive safely as you proceed on your routes. The elementary schools, Prairie Woodman, Mays Elementary, and Vermillion all share the same bus lane. As you pull into the bus lane, you will see that the special needs buses occupy the inside lane. The first big buses will go around the curve and park right to left in a double stack formation. The remainder of the big buses will stack 3 wide next to the special needs parking right to left. We will always stagger the buses to create a safe space between the buses for students to pass to and from the sidewalk. Please don't hang over the school crosswalk. Students will be called by an administrator to exit the bus in the mornings, and in the afternoon, the students will load as they are dismissed from the school. A closed door and a left turn signal tells the administrators and the other drivers that you are ready to move to the next school. These parking lots are tight and crowded. Always be on the lookout for students and parents. Take your time and always square your turns.
at this particular slide, there are still buses that have
After loading the
like
buses at Prairie Woodman, you'll proceed to park and load between Mays Elementary and Vermillion.
So it might have been from last year.
Yeah.
I know we tried to report some this year too, so.
Mays Elementary and Vermillion schools are right next to each other. As the buses move into position, the special needs buses move to the side and load or unload at Mays Elementary. The big buses pass the park special needs buses and proceed to the designated parking line between Vermillion and Mays Elementary. The big buses stack 3 wide at the front of the line and decrease to 2 wide as the lane narrows. Both schools will load and unload students at the same pace. When you are fully loaded, close your door and engage your left turn signal. Patiently wait for the administrator to release the buses. The first bus to leave will be on the far left. Move slowly through the parking lot. Watch for parents, students, and other vehicles.
One more.
Central Elementary bus lane is on the west side of the building with a large roundabout at the end of the lane for easy turnarounds and exiting onto Academy Street. The big buses park in the first 2 lanes. In the morning, buses first to arrive park to the right, next to the left. Afternoon buses will park in a specific order every day to make finding the bus easier for the students. Leave room for a late bus and only pull up when everyone in front of you is parked. Many buses make their way around the big buses to park in the roundabout and load or unload close to the school. Special needs buses will be coming in and going out as they load or unload. Stagger your bus to make a safe view to walk to and from the sidewalk for your students. Look around your bus for students before closing your door and activating your left turn signal. Big buses will load or unload and be dismissed by an administrator. Buses leave left first, then the right, then the left, and so on. Buses will follow each other to the next school. Be sure to drive safely as you proceed on the routes.
Must be in Busker, because I could watch that all day. All right.
Who knows, maybe he wants to be a bus driver when he graduates.
All right, so hello. We've had requests to use the mic. I hate the mic, so I will try to remember to use it. Anybody learn anything from those videos that you may not have known about one of the other schools, maybe how to go in or out of them? You guys knew it all. There we go, a couple of you. Good, good, good. All right, November, we got lots of birthdays. Everybody enjoy their Friday off last week? Those of you that had it off, yeah? Gonna enjoy your next week off? Yes. Don't think we have anything. Okay, I don't know why it's not on here, but this whole, are we off a week? Oh, the calendar's down all week. Sorry, that was Tammy's fault. Tammy did it. Who? Kevin had 2 birthdays in 1 month? You're getting that good, you get 2 of them now. I know where he's at.
Aging twice as fast.
Aging twice as, no, we don't want that. Man, I need to alter the. Okay, next month, Mays starts Christmas break on the, winter break on the 21st. We don't come back until, I think it's the 4th. We'll go over that next month for sure, but. Do we come back the 3rd? Oh, I tried. Sorry, guys. Safety meeting will be on the 15th next month since it is on a weekday. That is also when we will have our end of the year party, end of the school year party, sorry, our winter party. And we'll cover that here in just a few minutes. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. Driver of the month, Shannon Burley. I actually did not have any nominations for a driver of the month this month. So this one came from within the office. Shannon has helped a ton at the last minute if we needed something. She happened to have been in the office. She jumped right in and said, I'll go do it. I'll go pick that one up. I'll go pick that one up. She saved us a couple times on field trips when somebody didn't show up or they were late. So a huge thank you to Shannon for being so much help this month. And Kara of the month, drum roll please. I love that you guys do that. Terry Sharp, somebody new. Terry, where are you at? You're not gonna get away that easy, Terry. Where are you at?
He didn't show. What the heck? All right, for those of you that don't know Terry, he's the bald guy that runs around. Super nice guy, Terry. We throw him all over the place. Finally ended up on bus 41 going back and forth to Garden Plain. Garden Plain actually asked for him multiple times because he did so well on that route. So he ended up finding a home on 41 back and forth there. So congratulations to Shannon and Terry. You get front row parking. All right, Mosley's. Last year, if you were here, we went to Mosley. We had a blast. I don't know about you guys. We had a blast. That was so much fun. Went to Mosley Street Melodrama. Kathy waited to the last minute and I couldn't get anywhere else, so we're doing Mosley again this year. They did not have an evening show available for us to hold the size crowd that we had last year. So we're doing a Sunday brunch, which might actually help some of you others come in. So if you are interested, I need to know by this Friday, so in 2 days, I need to know if you're interested. I have to put a $500 deposit down. I have to put a deposit down for us to hold that position. If you're interested, they're $36 a piece. They feed you lunch. They do a phenomenal show. And it's just a good time to build some camaraderie. We all sit together. We hoot and holler. You can drink. We're not on the clock. You're not on school grounds. You're welcome to have a drink or two, but you have to pay for those. We're not paying for those. Well, you have to pay for your ticket as well. So if you're interested, they are $36 a person. You can bring a spouse. You can bring a significant other. I ask that you don't bring kids. It's supposed to be a time out for all of us adults to have some good times. So the show, we have it dated, is December 17th. I need payment by the 6th, if at all possible, if you're going, so that I can pay the remainder of that balance and give them a definite number of folks going. If you have any questions, you can let me know. We have a lot of fun. Brunch, typically they serve biscuits and gravy, and I think it's Yoder Meats or something that comes in and helps with that. So I'm not 100% sure, but it's a good lunch. Yes, ma'am.
Are we gonna take the bus again?
We are taking the bus again. Tony, would you like to escort us down to Mosley's again this year?
Sure.
That was a lot of fun. We rode the bus down last year. If you want to ride it from here, you're welcome to. If you plan on drinking, I ask that you actually do and you find somebody to take you home afterwards. Okay, I'm not going to remember by the time I get to my house. All right, this Friday, Janie and Lisa are going to be here. They're the ones that were here for our last meeting that talked to you guys about our IEP students. They're going to be here this Friday to talk to any of you that are driving special need routes or you're a para on that route. They're going to bring in the individual IEPs, talk to you about individual students. They're going to help you guys with everything you need to know on your students. So if you drive a minibus or you're a para on a minibus, if you sub on minibuses, or if you're a regular route driver with a special needs student on your bus, you are welcome to come. That starts at 9 o'clock on Friday. Questions? Okay. Kelly, do you have anything you would like to add on this one? It's called Ruck for Life. They're collecting winter clothes of all sorts, gloves, hats, coats. And we need donations obviously by Friday, but if you want them over break, if you call Kelly, get with Kelly if you need her number. She can get that from you. Do you have any more info you want to share on that? They're doing that. There's a box out in the front foyer.
It's to benefit veterans that are coming home from war and they're transitioning back into civilian life. We're just kind of trying to help out the families as well as the homeless veterans.
Okay, there you go. So it's to help our veterans that are coming home. So, yes, ma'am.
Does that include any like coats for kids like we could give?
Does that include coats for children?
Yes.
Yes.
Women's, children's, infants.
All sizes, shapes, and everything. So it's for not just for the veterans, but for their families as well. Okay.
Are you requesting new stuff?
New or gently used, she says. When is the last day for that, she says? The 27th?
7th, but we're on break, so if you need next week to get it, get with me, I'll get you my phone number, I'll meet you somewhere. Since I live on the east side of town, we will have to set up a time.
So Friday.
Friday would be the best time, yep. If you want to catch up with her over break, just get a hold of her if you can't get to her by Friday. Okay, any other questions? Thank you for doing that for them, that's awesome. Kudos. Okay, so those of you that have been here for any length of time, I use this every single year because it should hit you right where it should hit you. For those of you that have seen this, don't answer this. What does it look like this truck has hit? A pole? A tree? A bus? It hit something, didn't it? It did hit a person. It hit an 8-year-old child. 55 mile an hour, ran the stop sign, and killed 2 students. This is in just up by Carmel, Indiana. If it doesn't give you goosebumps, you have no right to be in this room. This is awful. This is why it's so important that those folks stop for our stop signs. And Tony's going to cover that here in a little bit. We're gonna hit that really hard this week, and we're going to get some assistance from law enforcement. So I'm super excited to hear about that. But this is why, I mean, you guys know why it's so important that they have to stop at those signs. But this just shows you, anyways. Yes, ma'am.
Just so everybody knows, there was a child hit and killed out on Hoover several years ago. She ran across the road and the car did not stop.
Okay, I didn't know that. A kiddo got hit on Hoover a couple of years ago, I guess. Ran across the road and got
It
hit.
was back when I was in school.
Wow.
It was Earth Day.
All right. And this is why it's important we use our lights correctly, and our job is to protect these little kiddos at all costs. All righty. Joy, I think this was yours. Joy? No, not yours, Chris? Okay, I didn't do this, but that's okay. Same one I leave in there? Okay. Because it's important. We talked about this at the TAC meeting yesterday. If a bus is anywhere around you unloading, you cannot move. Don't move. It's not worth killing a kid over. It's super simple. If you can't get out of, it's not worth 2 minutes of your route time to kill a kid. If somebody's moving around your bus, just wait. Okay? Hang tight. Be patient. All right, I had the law enforcement get a hold of me on this one. So this is Mays Road and Academy. And I'm assuming this is probably mostly like when we're leaving Mays Central and going to South or any other time. So when you pull up to this stop sign here on Academy, you should stop behind the white line if you've trained with us, or at least with me and anybody that's trained underneath of me. You're supposed to stop behind the white line and look both ways, and then you can proceed. That gives the car next to you enough room to be able to see in front of your huge yellow bus so they can see traffic and make that left-hand turn safely. If you pull up, and this is the issue we've been getting a lot of complaints on, if you're pulling clear up, first of all, you don't need to. You're in a bus. You can see a half a mile down the road from back there where you were supposed to stop. If you're pulling up there, what's that red car see beyond you? Nada. They see nothing. So now they either have to wait for you to go, or they have to go past you, and now they're out in the intersection. So just do the right thing and stop back behind that white line, if you would, please. Yes, sir.
The issue we have with that is the city needs to trim some of those bushes and trees by the track. You cannot see.
On the left.
On the left, you cannot see, that's why buses have to pull up. You cannot see those people that are obeying the speed limit.
Okay.
And they come zipping by there. And now that the leaves are coming off, it's not so bad, but when the leaves are on, you couldn't see past the track.
Okay, I will see what I can do to get hold of them to get that cut before spring hits. All right. Hi, Mamie. Keep going. All right, if you're taking time off, please make sure you fill out that paperwork in the break room. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get with a trainer. You also have to do the online request. You cannot take days off without pay anymore. If you have PTO, you have to use it if you're taking time off. They will not let you just take it off without pay. They used to do that, you can't do that anymore. You also cannot take trips if you're taking time off that day. So if I have a trip scheduled for this afternoon or this morning and I want to take this afternoon off, you're not taking that trip. You have to be here if you want to drive a trip. Okay? Questions on that? Okay. Make sure you're plugging your buses in as it gets colder. The power goes on and off at those poles as needed, so it's not going to hurt anything. Plug it in. I think the power kicks on at 28, 20, 42. It kicks on when it gets cold. It's not going to hurt your bus. So as the weather starts to get colder and it dips down into the 20s and the 30s, plug that bad boy in. If it doesn't need to kick on, it won't kick on. Now, I say that hoping that the power is working on your bus, on your pole. If you find out you come in the morning and your engine is not warm, if you touch that and it's not warm, and it should be, if it got down into freezing, please let us know so that we can get a hold of somebody and have that power supply checked out, okay?
Also, please try and remember in the mornings, if you plug it in the main cord, unplug it so that you don't rip it out of the hole.
Good call. We replace a lot of extension cords over the winter when you guys don't unplug them. So, and then make sure you hang them up so that they're not just dragging on the ground for other people to run over, or yourself when you forget. Make sure we have your current cell phone number on file. Add transportation to your phone so that you know when I'm calling you. If we have delays, we don't have delays very often. They typically just cancel. But if they cancel, I will personally send out notifications to everybody. I'm typically one of the first ones to know if we're canceling school. I know for a fact, and you guys that have been here know that they don't cancel school until 10 till 6 when we're all here warming up buses. I typically can know by 5:15, 5:30 at the latest. As soon as I find out, I shoot that out to you guys to try and help save you from coming in at all. So make sure that I have your correct cell phone number. If you're not sure, get with Tammy. I get that from our travel tracker. So if it's not correct on travel tracker, you're not getting that notification. You're gonna be here all by yourself in the morning. Okay? And then that's the direct line for, or that is the main line for transportation. When the weather gets bad, you can come in an additional 15 minutes early, start your bus, clean off your windshield, all that good stuff. You can come in and get extra time on that. We expect you to. We don't want you running down the road with ice and snow on your windshield. Do you have a question?
Can we get some smaller office-sized trash bags for the mirrors?
Yep, we can do that. Smaller office-sized trash bags for mirrors, please. Can you just make a note? We'll get you some. He likes to cover his mirrors with trash cans. It keeps them from getting icy.
Don't pull clear up to the sidewalk either.
That's true. That coming from maintenance, don't pull all the way up to that center sidewalk, because if you don't, they'll go out and blade that whole sidewalk. Otherwise, I've done it a couple of times. I have to go out with a shovel and do the whole sidewalk, or somebody else has to come out with a shovel and do the whole thing. If you don't pull up to keep your mirrors off of that center, so they can just take a blade, Bobcat down the middle. It's so much easier, and saves everybody from having to do that manually. So don't pull all the way up. In between AM and PM routes, leave your keys in those vehicles. Make sure you're hanging your keys up at night. I think we've done a really good job with that this year. At the end of the day, we take a look in the break room, look through all your boxes. We just glance. If all the keys are all lined up back there, we know you're all in. If there's a set missing, you're either missing or you didn't put your keys away. But we'll be calling to find out, okay? Do you have another question? Yes.
On that, leaving keys in buses, if you could just leave them in the ignition rather than taking them out, because some drivers like to put them like on the minibuses in the little dash cubby or down on the bottom cubby, just leave them in the ignition. Don't pull them out and put them anywhere else, because we don't want to go looking for them.
Yeah, it saves us from having to look. If it's keeping your alarm, if it's beeping when you get out, just pull it out of the ignition a little bit, and usually that'll stop that. Okay?
Does that include vans?
Does that include vans? That's a good question. Chris says yes. Please. All right, we are close to losing our newly revised instant. Okay, so last year we fought hard to have it so that everybody could bring any kid you want at any age. We used to be 3 years and older were the only kids allowed on the bus. If they were not students, obviously they wouldn't be under 3. Last year we got it down so that we could bring any age group. So you can bring a newborn on a bus now. We are super close to losing that because of the kids in the offices running loose. Destroying things, they're getting into the refrigerators, they're running out in between buses. We've had a ton of complaints, so we have got to get that under control or we're going to lose that, and we haven't even had it half a year. So please, if you're bringing your little ones, please keep an eye on them. You're in charge of them. You need to make sure you're watching them, okay? Weekly your fluid checks. Watch your mile for oil changes. If you need tires, they're asking if you'll put the tread depth on your work order so they know where you're at. That probably helps them decide which ones they need to get on first or how close you are to actually needing tires. Yes, ma'am.
Where would the gauge be?
You should have one. If you don't have one, we'll get you one. I have a couple in my drawer.
Raise your hand if you need one.
Does anybody need one? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bring a couple dozen. All right, when she comes back, she'll get you one. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right, she'll bring everybody a tire gauge. Okay, this is from last year. I haven't had an issue this year, but we ask that you don't discipline your child on a bus, and I'm going to tell you why. This might have actually been 2 years ago. We had a para who brought her own kids on the bus, which is fine, it's perfectly legal. They got in trouble and got in their face. They're over at one of the gas stations, Casey's, Quick Trip, I don't know. Got in their face and was telling them, you have to stop, and had her by the shirt so she would look at her in the face, which moms, you all know, we've all done it, it's all good. But somebody looking from the outside in went, holy crap, what are they doing to our kids? So please, please, please do not discipline your children on the buses. Make sure you're always thinking, what does this look like from the outside? If you have to think that, don't do it. Don't discipline your kids on your own bus. Be nice to our new staff. I think we've done really, really well this year. I haven't had hardly any complaints. So good job, guys. Be patient with everybody. We got a lot of new faces this year that are learning new stuff. So thank you so much for that. All right, tell me, what does, when you pull up to a bus stop to pick up a student, what does securing... What are you doing to me? Turn it down. Am I loud? I can hear you just fine. Okay. You need hearing aids, that doesn't count. What does securing your school bus look like? Parking brake. Neutral. It's exactly right. So when you pull up to a stop, now I feel like I can't hear myself. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay. I was loud. So when you pull up to a stop, your lights need to come on how far ahead? 50. Joy, where you at? What's the right answer? 200? Within 200 feet, those yellows need to be coming on. How far back from the students should you be stopping? Not right on top of them, but 10 feet. Yep, you should be stopping about 10 feet. Make them come to you. Your parking brake comes on. Make sure you're doing all of that. Make sure you're checking for traffic before you open that door. Okay, if you need one, hands up, please, so she can make sure she gets y'all one. So please, please, please make sure you're securing your bus, and that should be at every single bus stop. Every single bus stop. There should never be a point where you don't secure your bus. Now, we all know that three-point turns are a necessary evil in our world. Hopefully, when we design your routes, we try really, really hard not to design a route with a three-point turn in it. Some of you have no choice. It is what it is, and I can't do anything about it. But if you are adding three-point turns to your routes, I'm gonna beat you. Please don't do it. There is no reason to back up a bus if we don't have to. That is the most dangerous thing you can do in a bus. So if you don't have to do it, please, please, please don't do it. Okay?
You got like 4 hands.
I have what?
4 hands.
4 more? Okay. If you don't have an ice scraper